That's not what the instructions said, Lana. My instructions said something totally different.
Yeah. Which one did you get?
I got the one for the doofus. I'm the doofus.
You're not the doofus.
They had one under the table that they sell to the stupidest looking person of the day, and I was given it. I actually bought it in Vegas, right there across from the Hard Rock Cafe.
Maybe it was just like a toy. It wasn't even an actual thing.
Yeah, it might have been like the demo.
You can say anything your heart's dreaming of. Don't call it love. Call it a longing. Call it a yearning. Don't call it love.
Fun life.
Lana Violet is here.
Well, I was working at an amusement park back in the day when I was 19. But see, for me, I've always been fascinated by strippers. Like, I loved strippers. I can't remember.
Yeah, I saw your pictures on Instagram from Vegas.
When I was younger, I used to stay up late, and I would just see like the Girls Gone Wild, like commercials and stuff. And
yeah.
I just wanted that kind of girl, you know. And then I was just fascinated by strippers and how they danced and worked the pole, and that's always what I've been like attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, applied on sexy jobs to be a dancer. I got a lot of calls for like adult model, nude model. But at the time I was working at that amusement park and I was going to school. So I was pretty busy. I never really got back to anybody. I ended up meeting my first agent and I told her I wanted to be a stripper. And then she told me about videos, everything about the adult business, how there's talent testing,
mm-hmm.
There's certain, because for me at the time when I just got out of high school, it was Jenna Jameson. She came out with her book. That's what I knew, like blonde, big tits. That's
right.
what it was. And obviously that's not what I am. So she was telling me about like Asian niches, young girl, that type of stuff. And I was just kind of fascinated by it. And she's also said that if
did she make it sound alluring or just exciting or just all of that?
All of the above, alluring, exciting. She was telling me if I did want to be a stripper, to put up my name as a porn star, an adult entertainer, and that way I can do features. So it'll be a bigger gig, a bigger opportunity.
Do you think that what she portrayed it matched up in your eyes? Pretty much?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, for me, I would say my experience getting to business has been pretty fortunate. I've heard horror stories before.
Right. So there's like documentaries about the girl that felt like she was like gonna die or something. But for everybody there's like 100 people that are like, I didn't have that experience.
I wouldn't say like 1 to 100, maybe like 1 to 25.
I'm grabbing numbers outside. There's no statistical analysis.
Or actually, no. Well, because there's like horrific stories and there's like bad stories. There's not so good stories.
Not true. Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. Just no one in this car, but a lot of people. There's good times, noodle salad. What makes it so hard is not that you had it bad, but that you're that pissed that so many others had it good.
No, not it at all, really.
But I was fortunate. Like for me, I said I was going to do everything. I put down anal, but my agent actually told me, she's like, no, you're going to wait for that. So, yeah.
But how was the segue from the personal life?
But like I feel it's all individual situations. Like for me, I did grow up in a Filipino Catholic household.
Right.
But my life experiences have been very rocky. I was young, wild, naive, crazy, and just all over the place. So I was very horny when I was younger. But for me personally, I guess I was never really detested by the dick. I was afraid of getting pregnant. That was my biggest fear. They never taught anything about STDs in Catholic schools. So I didn't even know anything about STDs.
Really?
I knew nothing about STDs.
Catholic schools are not giving any information. That's weird. Come on, this is like, come on.
I remember being 18 and learning about chlamydia and gonorrhea when I got my first job. They were telling me about it because I was telling my sexual, adventures, and they were telling me, "Aren't you afraid about getting an STD, this and that?" And I maybe heard AIDS here and there from like an after-school like special, but whatever. I didn't learn about abortion until freshman year
of
high school. So anyway, yeah, I was more afraid about being pregnant. So I actually I took it up the ass before I put in my pussy.
Really?
And yeah, and before that,
You definitely won't get pregnant.
Yeah, I love to give hand jobs. And I love to get fingered, but I never really did more than that. I would give a guy a blowjob if I really, really liked him. Like if I saw myself
if you personally thought he was a nice person. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
All I can say to the Filipino credit is that all the Filipino girls that I've had sex with have all been like amazing. Like it's been like
That's a great stereotype.
Well, no, I just want to say, like, you know, the people do say, like, oh, you know, all pussy's the same. Is not the same. And there are some that are just way better than others. So, tell me about the contest thing, because that was something Leslie had sent to me, and I was like, oh, what the hell is this thing?
I met the owners or the creators of Amp Asia magazine at Asia Monopalooza. It's through their magazine, Amp Asia, and you can go on their site, ampasia.com, AMP.
What are they about?
Just the Asian lifestyle. Amp Asia. It's through Amp Asia. It's AMPEDASIA.com.
Okay.
And pretty much, so you go on the site, you enter your email. That's how you enter the contest. You answer questions, and you will be sent an email saying you won, blah, 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 and you get an all expenses paid trip to come out to LA, and we go out on a date. Go out to dinner.
A 4-hour engagement. Up to
4
4
hours. The minimum, yes. And you have to qualify, you have to be within the United States, 21 and over.
21 and over. Okay. You can share to get more entries. There's different ways to share through Twitter.
You send the link, email the link to friends. You get an additional entry with every time you send one.
Whose idea was this to come up with Lana Violet as the one to do this?
Well, they approached me about it because I did the feature for their porn and sex issue that came out in January, and they asked me, we would like to do win a date contest with you, and if you'd be interested. And I said, yeah, that's actually pretty fun. I've seen other girls do it, and I always thought that was a fun idea to do, and to be approached about it by a magazine who's offering all this. It's awesome. So I said, yeah.
Is it chaperoned, or is it just you meet at a local place? Or
it is chaperoned, meet in a public place.
How big is the dude?
I want that to be very clear. Just because we're going on a date, and just because I do porn, just does not mean.
Just because I'm dressed this way does not make me a whore.
And we're just gonna fuck, you know. We're gonna go have a good time, eat some great food, enjoy LA. Yeah.
And the chaperone. Do you want to describe the chaperone? Do you know the chaperone?
Yes, I know the chaperone. Those are details that I can't really discuss, but
those are secret details of the contest. I like it. And don't.
And it's not rigged. I know a lot of people have asked, like more than one, trust me, have asked me like, "Oh, are you gonna rig it? Is it rigged?" No, like I really want to leave it up to luck, up to fate. Like if it works out I want to really meet a true fan. So hopefully I get somebody who really truly supports the Lana lifestyle.
I hope it's like a Ryan Gosling or whatever the hell your thing is, and you're just like, wow, run off and make a reality porn website. That would be cool.
I'm honestly not really expecting that, but I will say that I have some really hot followers on Instagram and Twitter. They're pretty sexy. Like, hello. Like.
You sexy mother.
I get a date. For me personally, I'm all about authenticity, honesty.
Okay.
So I'm always honest up front, right off the bat. Like what I do, what I have done, what I'm doing. I never lie or never try to hide my adult lifestyle. I don't come and be like, oh, I'm a porn star, you know. I don't say it so brashly like that.
Sure.
But I say, I am involved in adult business. I have sex on camera. I get tested. I try to explain as much as I can in a conversation.
Okay.
So I try to be honest. There have been two guys where one I was dating. This is like past. One I was dating for a year, and I really liked him. him, and all of a sudden like, he wasn't okay with my lifestyle. All of a sudden, you know.
Yeah.
And same thing with this one guy. I wasn't dating him I actually wasn't really dating him at all. We were kind of just seeing each other, and all of a sudden he wasn't okay with it. So that's mostly been my experience lately.
Right. That's kind of a bummer.
It's a bummer only just because it's not upsetting in terms that my lifestyle is affecting my dating relationship. It's more just like I'm honest in the beginning with this person. I expect honesty in return. If it was never okay with you, that's fine.
Well, they clearly weren't being honest with themselves, but it's hard sometimes to articulate that in your mind when somebody's hot and then you want to be with them and you have this chance to do that, you know, sort of. But I would say that it's an ego-driven thing. A lot of men have a problem getting through releasing ego. Ego never did shit for you in your life.
That's a good quote.
And if you can release that, a lot of things become, I think, more clear, at least in my experience.
I agree with you. Yeah. That could be relatable to either male or female. Just let an individual just lets their ego go and is honest with themselves and they're insecure with themselves. Because most of it does come from insecurity. Yeah, but if anything, if these guys are driven by their ego and that's how they feel, if they don't want to be honest with you because they just want to be with a hot girl, quote unquote, or a porn star, then I'd rather have just got rid of them after a year or 6 months or a month, because I don't need to deal with that kind of person.
It's got to be weird in LA. LA is such a crazy place to me because it's so beautiful in so many respects, but the people are just not friendly if they don't know you, and I think that's the weirdest thing about the trips that I've taken to LA.
Well, there's definitely truth to that. It's definitely ego-driven here and a lot of facades. So I feel like people they have their guards up because it's such a manipulative town sometimes that people get taken advantage of and are taking advantage of people. Yeah. So if you get that mean mugging type of attitude towards people, then that could be where it stems from. But see, okay, I've never been to New York. So really? For you, it's funny, yeah. So
you would be that same reaction though. In New York, you would go like this to somebody walking on the street, and they look at you like, "The hell you fucking don't go like this to me." Down here in the South, that's acceptable. It's almost like weird not to.
Right, that's what I've heard about the South. The only East Coast area that I've ever been to was Florida, so I'm not too familiar with any other.
So you've just basically been in awesome places.
Not New York, but see, New York.
New York's a lot of fun, though. New York is a lot of fun. Yeah, because there's a lot of places on the water, and it's a very cool place. You don't get any sleep when you go there because everything's just go go go.
I like that, yeah. Because over here in the West Coast, things start at 10 and they end at 2. Over there, it's they start at 12 and end at 4.
Yeah, the city literally does not sleep in New York City.
Yeah, but see, I know a lot of people from the East Coast, whether it's New York, Florida, Boston. Most of the people that I get along with are from the East Coast, and so I don't really get along with people from LA. But so for me, here, I just see a lot of ingenuine fake people. They put a face on. People never really want to truly show.
So it's the polar opposite. Because I'm from New Jersey, people will just tell you they don't like you. That's it. You don't have to wonder. You don't have to play games. Just tell people you don't like them. That's it. Mm-hmm. But that does not exist out in LA, which sucks. Cause I like visiting out there. I just had an impression, and I asked Bonnie Rotten about it. I said, seems like there's a lot of camaraderie amongst the porn stars, and not a lot of backbiting or whatever. And she just sort of, turned her head around and looked at me like I was from Mars and was like, fuck no, dude. It's all kinds of crazy, backbiting and fighting. And then I read this thing on Twitter between Lisa Ann and Nikki Benz. Somebody had to get a restraining order or something like that. So, on the reality TV shows or any of those types of things, there's always some kind of the reason they're always trying to be in consternation and the strife.
I was doing it when I first got into the business in 2008. I was in it for consistently for 2 years, and then took a break. And when I took a break for a year, a good break. I needed it, and that's
what do you do during a break?
Well, Well, because I was young when I got into the business. I was 19, and so when I got out of it because of an injury. I won't go into too many details, but
Okay.
At that point when I got injured, I mean, all I knew was sex, fucking doing videos.
Right.
So I was just kind of like, well, what else do I like to do? What else am I passionate about? And fortunately, through the money that I made through the business, it helped me to do some other things in my life. I got certified in certain things and was able to dabble in a few other interests. And it's funny because I did all that, and then because I never wanted to give up porn, I was forced to do so. So I wanted to get back into the business. But every time I tried to get back in, there's always a scare, like the syphilis thing or the Hep C, the HIV, and they were just happening so consistently.
Yeah.
So
I remember Kim saying something about that, there being a scare.
Yeah, so I just took them as signs, like, okay, maybe it's not the right time,
right?
And just until recently, it's been pretty quiet in terms of scares, or if there was, they were false, and it hasn't been as outrageous as it was a few years ago. So I figured, it's a right time to get back in. And like I said, because before when I first got into it, I just got into it like full throttle, like doing it, crazy scenes, big dicks, and it was fun. I had a lot of fun. But at this point, like I've got into it to strip, and I've never done the feature dancing thing. So I want to be able to pursue that in terms of the rest of what I want to pursue in adult. So I'm doing more, I want to focus more on the featuring.
Okay.
I am doing videos and doing scenes to obviously be more relatable. And it's funny because it kind of stems from like my dating experience lately.
Okay.
Dating has been fun, but in terms of sex, like you can't just meet a guy on a dating app site and be like, oh my God, you have to skin my ass. It doesn't really work that way.
Sure.
So, I mean, with porn, like, it takes the hassle of finding people who it really is your sexual fantasy is being fulfilled.
Much reached the pinnacle of all the stuff there is to do.
No, well, no, not necessarily. I mean, I'm not as wild as I was back then, but I'm at a point where, I do like to have sex. So to do it in a porn setting, I feel is safer and a lot more fun because obviously I'm working with professionals. No condoms. I don't like condoms. Everyone's tested, and like I said, everyone's professional. It's just I feel it's a fun ambiance. Yeah.
So it's kind of it's like recreational for you almost.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess you can say that. Yeah. Just to kind of like let go and build up, let go of any sort of sexual energy. Because
of the background that you came from, do you feel like it's kind of like once you tried it, you couldn't eat just one? I don't know. I guess it's just as I've gotten older. Like before, I never really thought about it. Like doing I never thought about doing double penetration. It's never something I've really thought about until I guess when I've gotten older, I thought about it. Like I put it in my ass, I put it in my pussy. I never put it together, and I've heard great things from other women that saying it's a really great feeling. So I've started to think about it, and now I know I want to do it. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to try it, and I ended up loving porn. I loved having sex. It's really liberating. Then were you a fan and you watched it as well, or is it you just participated?
Yes, I watched. But see, okay, it's funny. I watched some porn just to kind of do research, like boy-girl scenes, to see what the girls were doing, take notes. But for me personally, like my favorite kind of porn to watch is gay and tranny porn. Because I had a really good gay friend at the time, and he watched a lot of gay porn. And so I would watch gay porn with him. When he found that I did porn, he would show me his gay porn.
And when you say gay porn, guy on guy?
Guy on guy, yeah.
Okay. And then tranny porn.
Not girl.
That's like when you want to get off, that's what you're watching.
Yeah. It really turns me on. It's hot. Like, I don't know. Gay and tranny porn gets me off. Like regular porn, it's hot. It's sexy. But what gets me off is gay or tranny porn.
Right. I wonder what gay and tranny porn actors watch to get off. What's the next level? Maybe
it's like feather tickling or popping balloons with heels. You never know what to get into.
I saw that thing. Was it called edging? That was interesting. Edging.
What is that?
It's like where the girl's giving the guy a hand job or whatever, but she's doing it so slow, and like she's stimulating one portion that's just like ever so slightly, to taking the guy to the point where you're not having to do a lot of movement, and then the guy just goes crazy. Look it up. It's on Porn.
Have you tried it?
I haven't tried it. No. But it's on Pornhub. I think it's called edging. Or something.
Okay.
So edging sounds like something we're like doing something in the yard, but that's what I think it's called. Yeah. I think
Okay, well,
the thing.
watch me search for it.
Yeah,
Like,
put that in your
different.
put that on your list of things to look up. I'm telling you about something that's funny, and it's been a lot of fun talking to people. It's a lot of interesting people. There's not a lot of boring people in porn so far. I'm sure there's probably some duds, but so far not the ones we've interviewed.
Have you talked to Mia?
Yeah, she is like very difficult to like nail down. I don't really get it. It's
She's
like
MIA. She's
yeah.
true different name. Yeah, it's hard to get over her.
Yeah, she's funny though. But when you do get to talk to her, I remember having a conversation with her. I was driving somewhere for about an hour. I was going to be on the road, and I probably had a 58-minute conversation with her that I wish had been recorded because it was just replete with awesome Mia Ryder stories.
I want you to ask me a female question.
A female question?
The inappropriate question.
No. I wouldn't. That would be. I know. I have a TMZ-ish female question. Like, so who's your celebrity crush?
That's a female question.
Yeah, females always want to know. That's like on the cover of whatever. Tom Cruise is 50.
Are you being serious? Are you really asking me?
Yeah. Who's your celebrity crush?
A celebrity crush? I don't fucking know.
Do you ever see somebody like on like whatever and go, oh man, like if I saw them out, I would totally nothing.
Well, I guess there hasn't been anybody.
Starfalls was Clooney.
There's been only one person that I saw where I was just like, oh my god, you are fucking fine. He's this boxer. His name is Miguel Cotto.
Okay.
Because he was fighting Manny Pacquiao. I was watching the fight.
Okay.
This is years ago, and I remember they introduced him, and I've never felt that when I saw somebody. You're just like, wow, this person is just so fucking beautiful. And
okay.
whoa. Holy crap.
So it did happen once.
So he's married and has kids and shit. They showed it, but he was hot. Like I just was like, cartoon figures where they just drop their jaw.
Yeah.
Like holy shit. That's the only time. And I like Victoria's Secret angels, like old school Victoria's Secret angels, like Adriana Lima, Alexandra Ambrosio.
Oh, tall girls.
These girls are beautiful.
So give me some examples of like anything new that you've been doing on the cannabis tip.
I don't really smoke as much as I used to. Mm-hmm. When I do, I just vaporize or eat edibles. My favorite thing so far has been medicated honey and medicated tea. Oh, and really? Jolly Ranchers. Medicated, like Jolly Ranchers, sucker. Sometimes they'll have like gummy bears or something. Gummy bears, like the Star Patch Kids ones. That's fucking delicious. But yeah, I've been more into eating it lately. Been a fat ass, been a piggy. Because when I smoke, even when I vaporize, like vaporizing's been cool, but even when I vaporize it, like I'll get the if I dab it, it's a lot on my lungs. I don't know if I'm getting older or whatnot. So if I just put it in my tea and have it at night, it's pretty soothing.
I just recently started dabbing, and it's been quite an adventure.
Yeah, I've seen your pictures on Twitter.
Which ones?
Oh, my experience when I first started dabbing too.
What was it?
It's pretty intense. It's a pretty intense, yeah.
Do you
wax out there? You can't get that out there.
Do what?
Like wax and honey, you can't get that out there.
Yeah, we can get some stuff. We can get some shatter.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
leave it at that.
So as far as passions, things to do outside of porn, like what is it that gets you going? Like, do you swing dance or something? I mean, give me something what's your thing? What's your? You can't live without.
I love my dogs. They're not with me right now.
Why?
I have two. Well, because I live in an apartment, so they stay either at a kennel or to friends, and I go visit them. Like they're not my dogs. Like okay, they are my dogs. But
that's really easy.
So I gave them to my sister. Okay. And she was in a home and everything. She has a big yard. So I gave them to her. So she takes they're at her place, but I have custody rights. Like I can see them. Like I have visitation.
Yeah, visitation.
So I see them. But I mean, in terms of passions and hobbies that I do, like I love For me, I'm from Southern California, like I said, so I like going to the beach. I go to the beach any chance I get. I like to be by the water.
Yeah, the water's badass.
Yeah, so maybe that's.
Yeah, I see you in Emmy on the beach all the time. Those are your Instagram pictures of you guys tanning.
Oh. Yeah, I'm all over the coast, from San Diego to Malibu. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I love being outdoors, hiking. I'm a big yogi. I love to do yoga. Love to do yoga. I love going to gay clubs. Back to gay. I love going to the gay clubs, dancing with the gay guys, getting hit on by the dykes. It's fun.
Yeah, we were driving by this place the other day, and it's a drag queen, whatever, cabaret, and it's like, and that's another thing. Third time my girlfriend says, "Hey, you see that place over there?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is like a drag queen thing." And she says, "Do you want to go sometime?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to go get heckled by fucking drag queens. Because as soon as I walk in, they're gonna zero in on me like the fucking $6 million man, and that's it. I'm gonna have to hear that shit for the whole show."
Well, you surely think highly of yourself.
No, I'm just telling you. Every time I've ever been to any of that stuff, it's always like I get singled out. I hate it.
Well, okay, I can understand.
That's not a. I mean,
you definitely are getting attention.
It's just it's
that makes you feel comfortable.
No, you know what it is? I don't think it's funny. Like they don't really. I mean, like some people think like certain type of humor. Like I don't watch what's that show? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I don't get it. But I mean, a lot of people like it,
Okay, yeah, it's not your cup of tea.
Right.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
That's cool. But more gay porn for me, so you don't have to.
That's an interesting thing there. I don't have any response to that.
But I guess getting back to hobbies, that's mostly what I like to do, or like Netflix, or I Google a lot of shit. I Google the most random stuff.
You're like an information junkie.
I can answer to it, I Google it.
Information junkie.
Yeah.
If you don't know a word, you look it up.
But I try to be careful because there are some things I have in my mind where I want to Google, but I probably shouldn't Google because it'll be my history. And what if I'm accused of something, or
Oh, my friend Brian's like that too. He's like, "Oh, you need to go to a library to look that up," and I'm like, "Come on, dude, who gives a shit?"
You need a library card to access their computer. So
I mean, you're not looking up ways to make nuclear missiles, so I don't know.
What if I did want to look it up? I mean, what if it's just harmless information? What if that could be used against me?
It could be used against you if you took it to the next level and like joined the Black Panthers or something. But I don't think that's going to happen.
But I mean, obviously, it's never going to get to that point. But I guess just the paranoia.
You never know. You never know. I could see you in Dead President's makeup with it coming out of the garbage can with the 2 guns. That's what you should be for Halloween next year. Look up Dead President's movie pictures and be that girl.
Dead President.
Yeah, that would be badass.
I need new Halloween costumes ideas.
Yeah.
Hold on,
I've been doing Wolverine for the last 2 years.
And I've got a fucking...
Is that English or is that Australian?
It's a mixture between the two.
I brought whiskey.
I was Storm last year. President's movie. Oh, here, that's a girl?
Well, there's a bunch of people. There's a guy and a girl dressed with the same makeup.
They're in masks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You come on the show and you leave with Halloween tips. Coming up in October.
I remember it for.
I'll have you back on the show for a round 2. So give me the scoop on what is the next thing.
I don't want to be like, oh, I'm returning. Like, I don't want it to be so corny like that. It's just more, hey, I want to fuck on film again. Like, I want to do scenes. I want to. I haven't worked for certain companies, and I want to be able to establish that and accomplish that. And like I said, focus on featuring. But to do featuring, I want to be more relatable. So that's why I'm doing scenes, to be more relatable. And honestly, just to fuck. Like, I want to have sex. I want to get it. I want to get off.
So you don't have like a go-to person that's like you're not doing a scene. Yeah.
I used to. That used to be my thing before. I mean, I was, I guess, not younger, but like when I was like, how old am I? 26, 21 to 20, like 25, 24, 25. I mean, that's all I did. I never dated. I dated, and then there was never anything serious. Fuck buddies. If I wanted somebody, if I needed to get off, I would call somebody. But it got to the point where it's like, I mean, it's just I kind of got over that type of relationship.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, and I got more into serious dating, which was fun. It was nice. I met some cool people, met some assholes like those guys I was telling you about. And but like when I'm seriously dating somebody, the sex is nice, but it's not like crazy or civilian sex is kind of vanilla, and you can't really just ask anybody to do certain things with you. Some people aren't into that. So with porn, I'm able to, like, if I wanted to do, like, I've been fiending for some anal pleasure lately, for example. So I want to do some anal scenes in porn. So I'm open to it. Like, if somebody wants to hire me for anal, please, thank you. Like, I would love.
So I mean, so if you want to work right now, as much as you want, could you be working 3-4 times a week, or is it just like it's because I've heard from a few different people lately that it's so saturated that it's there's a very competitive market, but you also have a fan base, so that's a different dichotomy from some new chick that's coming online.
Yeah, I mean, I have fans based on my previous experience, obviously my previous work. So I'm definitely not like a newbie, if I did want, I mean, the fact that I want to work now or the fact that I'm open to work, that's one thing. But for people that are hiring, that's another. So like, say, I want to do anal, it doesn't automatically mean I'm going to get booked for 3 anal scenes a week or whatever it could be. I could want to work now and not get anything. I mean, since I've put myself out there that I didn't want to work, I've gotten some work coming in. But yeah, that just depends on like who even knows I'm out there and who wants to book me. So I don't have an agent, so I've just been emailing people, going to go-sees, talking to certain directors, putting my name out there. Well, for me right now, I'm doing customs for you. It's like clips for sale.
Okay.
But you buy directly. So you go, it's customs for you, CUSTOMS, the number 4 and the letter U.com. And there's like a menu of different things that I custom make for my fans. So if they want me to do a POV BJ, say their name, like, oh, Jackie, oh, you're so fucking big, shit like that, I could do it for them,
Right.
Personalized videos. So it shows the menu, pricing, ratings, and there's higher rates if you want the video sent to you within 3 days, expedited within 3 days. So it's pretty cool. Like, if you guys just want something more personal, you guys can check that out.
I said iPorn, like iTunes for porn. It seems like that would be the next level, where people are just like, okay, yeah, I'll spend 99 cents on a 6-minute clip, or whatever, and get to that point where it becomes so available. But I don't know how that would correlate with the tube sites, because I know iPorn, 99 cents.
But iPorn sounds like a fucking awesome idea.
I know. I have no backers. I don't have Shark Tank. I got nothing. It's just me and you. And this is going out to the World Wide Web for free, so they could just take my idea and just run with it and say, fuck you.
Yeah, like a Kevin. He just wants to make money.
I just want to be happy.
Hopefully that idea goes down for the long run. It's a great idea in theory, but like you said, for them to monetize it, it would just, how would it make money? Because if it's just getting free on the Pornhub
I mean,
site.
I heard a rumor that Pornhub had settled something with the companies to say that every clip that you clip, that once you click on it, they're getting some type of a response of a monetization. 0.00001 of a penny or something. So, you get a certain amount of clicks. Because I know a girl, it's a funny story. I probably won't get into it on here, but I found out her and her boyfriend were on Pornhub doing a bunch of scenes from home, just uploading the stuff. And I sent her a message on Facebook, and I said, just want to give you an FYI that these videos are available. I didn't know if maybe her boyfriend had uploaded this shit or something, and she didn't know about it. And she said, oh yeah, we know, we get monetized for it. And she told me how much, and I was like, oh, that doesn't sound like that much for the amount of hits that they had. Because it was like 400,000 for one 7-minute clip, $1 million for another 12-minute clip. So I don't know. I really don't understand the business side of it. And then you have Archangel coming in that just says basically, we're going to take over porn. That's like their motto.
I mean, how?
I don't know. We're going to see.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're a pretty new company, so I've been hearing them a lot about them a lot lately. So we'll see how they do in this business.
So, and Mind Freak's a pretty cool guy. We had an interesting conversation. I didn't know that he was married to Tori Black. Did you know that? You can watch. Okay. You can watch the episode.
Is it Twitter Mind Freak?
Yeah, MIME Freak. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, I never met him. Oh, his pictures are hot though.
He's got a real clean style about him.
I love all of his the picture he has on here.
Mm-hmm.
Covers. It's pretty sexy. Nice. I like it. Yeah. Oh, doggy.
Do you the stuff that you're doing now with the fetish thing? You doing that because you're into it, or is it just like, this is something new to do?
When I first got introduced to it, I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know anything about it. So it fascinated me because the first thing I did, the first scene I ever did was for Glenn, the same person I shot for today.
Okay. The guy with the big smile.
Yeah. Yeah. He got me. I was my first scene, like my first dom scene ever. So I showed up, did it, and it was interesting. And from there, I was fascinated by it. And so when I got offered, I was doing more verbal domination and humiliation. So definitely more verbal stuff.
Okay.
And that's what I've just been doing lately. I'm into it in a different. Like for me, it's just a totally different character. Like I call myself Mistress Lana Violet.
Have you kicked any guys in the nuts, like open neck?
I haven't kicked any guys in the nuts yet. I have electric prodded guys. I've
prodded.
Yeah, like the prods.
Like a little stun gun. It's not like a taser.
It's like a taser, but it's not.
It sounds painful.
It is. It actually, you can see the electricity running up the tip.
Oh, geez.
Done that.
It's like electrolysis.
It looked painful. Yeah, but some guys like it. That's what turns them on. So that's their masturbation material at the end of the day. Like me fucking, whipping the shit out of them. So it's been interesting. It's been fun. It's not my personal style that I do all the time in my sexual life, but to do it again in a safe environment and with people that actually it turns them on, it's fun. It's fun. It builds a whole different character.
Are they going to ask you back for some more stuff?
I hope so. There's a few companies that I work for in terms of BDSM because it's no sex involved really. Except for the one with Glenn. Even that had no penetration, just the dildo. But mostly more of the fetish stuff that I do is no sex. It's all just verbal or whipping.
There was a scene on Brazzers where a guy snuck into the girl's dressing room and then put a wig on, and then they busted him. And they were just like humiliating him the whole time while they were boning him, which is kind of weird.
On Brazzers?
Yeah, on Brazzers.
That's funny. I didn't know browsers have that kind of stuff.
They always have these little scenarios. It's a lot of little plotty. I mean, it's not gonzo porn. It's like there's like a little story behind everything. But true. But in terms of like humiliation, I've never really seen them do. Yeah, they weren't beating that. We weren't beating the kid, but it was interesting because he has a really baby face and he's really, really pale. I actually saw him at the AVNs, like just walking around. And he just looked really kind of sad, and I was like, wanted to go over and be like, "Hey, I know you from that one scene with a fucking wig." But I thought that would be kind of weird.
Can I smoke on here? Or?
Oh, absolutely. I think mine's still.
It's so funny because I got a vaporizer, but all these people lately, I don't know if it's like the energy that I'm attracting, but I've been getting so much herb lately. So weird.
You talking about free herb?
Hold on. Yeah,
there's nothing better than that. What I gave you, was it good?
It was delicious. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I couldn't believe how strong it was. Jesus Christ.
You were so funny. You're like, you can smell it out of the jar.
That was the tag motto. It was called Mason Jar.
And
it was the first time I've ever been forced to smoke. Not forced. That's a stupid word. The first time that I bought a quarter of something and had like like 3 days, 2 nights to smoke it all. And it was difficult because the apparatus that I had was, you know, like a little one hitter. And it's just difficult to smoke a lot of weed with a one hitter. So
Do you have any paper? You're going to get like
I
paper?
can't roll for shit. I'm just horrible at it.
That creep can roll, man.
Yeah, but he's a pervert, dude.
I'm like watched tutorials on it, and I don't know if it's like I just have like they don't have the dexterity in my fingers or what.
Joint or blunt? Like, have you tried joints? They're smaller, so.
I tried joints, I tried blunts, I watch the YouTube things. I'm stupid. It's just a dumb thing. I don't. I'm just gonna use a bong, you know. And the dabs thing has been interesting, but it's pretty intense, and I don't think it's a sustainable thing to do.
Interesting.
Have you tried? You've tried dabs?
Yeah, I've tried dabs. I've tried everything. There's some times where I like to smoke joints, so I roll papers.
Okay.
And then with joints, it takes up most of your cannabis. So, I mean, that's why I would say if you needed to consume large amounts, just real quick. Feeling good, Jackie? Feeling good?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Here, I'm going to roll a joint for you.
Okay.
Right now.
A virtual joint.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, you. This is perfect anyway because, like I said, a lot of people have been giving me weed and I'm not complaining. But here, we can still keep talking.
I'm not gonna learn from watching you. Trust me.
You know, if you have
I wish.
then that's fucked up.
Do what?
Then of course you're never gonna learn.
If what?
Give it a try. Maybe there's something that I say that could hit or something. I'm just
I bought the little roller thing.
You couldn't even do that.
Those instructions might as well have been written by the people from IKEA. I mean, really, I couldn't do it.
You can't just put the cannabis in the thing, put the paper.
That's not what the instructions said, Lana. My instructions said something totally different.
What did it say?
They said to put the paper in first and then put the weed in and then roll it. It wasn't rolling correctly. And I was like, is it broken? And not mechanically inclined.
Yeah, you put the weed and you put the paper in and then you roll it. Yeah. Which one did you get?
I got the one for the doofus. I'm the doofus.
You're not.
Yeah.
The doofus.
They had one under the table that they sell to the stupidest looking person of the day, and I was given it. I actually bought it in Vegas, right there across from the Hard Rock Cafe.
Maybe it was just like a toy. It wasn't even an actual thing.
It might have been like the demo. So what do you got there? Do you have a name for it, or is
some sativa? I don't know.
Good. Love the sativas.
Somebody that gave it to me is a grower. No, I mean, names are just names. This one's a sativa OG mix, so it's more. I think it's like 70%.
I feel like I have more energy and more wherewithal to do things when I'm doing sativa versus indica. That's been my experience.
Sativa has more THC, which is the psychoactive part, and then CBD is the more of the bodily part. So that's more for like healing, and that's actual like cannabis. That's one that's used in medicinal when the people make cannabis oil or.
Sativa feels like the Red Bull of weed to me.
Okay, so I'm going to try to teach you. Okay, this one works. Yeah, this one works. So, this paper, for example, you have a lot of cannabis oil, so maybe I say, I have to push it down, and then first, and then you found the roll. So you're trying to get cylinder, and then you come out just 2 seconds. And you know what? That's what your problem is probably too, because you're in Atlanta. You have stress. Your shit isn't sticky icky. That's what helps.
Right now, because I was doing dabs so much, the weed that I was smoking out of the bong earlier is like so old and dry and brittle.
Where do you keep it?
It's still high quality. Yeah, I have a mason jar, and I've got like a little what it's called a humidity pack that you put in there to keep it at a certain deal.
Yeah, be careful. Yeah. You don't want to put too many in there because then you're just gonna decrease the potency of the THC.
Oh, too many.
Because then it gets too wet.
Yeah.
Because some people they make a mistake where they put like 5 for like a gram, and it's making it all soft and unsmokable. You just keep smelling the system and just keep stuffing and sticking it in, and then once it's in, you pull it up.
Crinkle, crinkle, crinkle.
What?
No, it's just I'm high, so I laugh at shit.
That's how I like to do it. But hopefully, I don't know if you took anything from that.
Well, I knew that you would need to roll the joint for yourself anyway. It's completely washed out on this end. Maybe one day in person. We'll see if you can show me then. I'm very tactile. I'm a kinesthetic thinker, so I learn by doing stuff, but I just haven't gotten to that point of being able to roll yet. You know, battle conditions. That's what it was in Vegas. That really was. That one hitter was just unbelievably hard to smoke out of. Harsh is the word. And that weed was so strong too. And it burned up so quickly.
Oh God. That's 1995 shit for you. I'm telling you, well, yeah, see, one of the main things I'm very grateful for living in this part of the country.
The sticky icky. Motherfucker.
But is that phrase familiar to you too as well? And rolling and sticky icky. I'm sorry, these are West Coast terms.
Yeah, they are West Coast terms. I had a friend of mine. He called me up. He said his buddy, who's has a couple of dispensaries in Denver, wanted him to leave his job, and he works in distribution for wine, and come to work for him, selling from his grow connection to the other dispensaries in Denver, which is over 370 in Colorado alone. I don't know how many it is in Denver, and I was actually contemplating doing that, but I never got to talk to the guy on the phone because I guess he had found some hot chick in Denver who already lived there who was contemplating doing it.
So he gave the job to her?
I don't know. I never spoke to the guy. But I was researching dispensaries and all that stuff, and that's when I was learning about how they give away all these different things to try to like coerce you into being like a repeat customer, which makes sense because, you know, you get your market share and they all want to come to you because they like your prices, they like your weed, they like your extras that you give them. But all the bitching and complaining that these people would be doing about these little extras that they weren't getting when we live here, you know, like where it's like people are, you know, we haven't had a clean glass of water in 8 years, you know, like living in India or something. That was the connection, was like, you know, dude, I can't listen to you whine and complain about how awesome your life is, where you can just go down the street and have any type of thing that you want, mixtures and, you know, lip balm, and you're eating shit.
Wait a minute. Go back. Did you get offered to do, or you know somebody who got offered to do to work?
No, the friend he didn't want to leave his what he's doing now because he had built up a nice, you know,
with the wine business.
Yeah, so he said, but I know a perfect guy that would do it.
You? Yes,
and he sold me on him, this guy, to, you know, over the phone. He said, you need to go with my guy Damien because he would be there in a heartbeat. And so the guy was like, all right, well, you know, they were talking and whatever. And he said, well, here's his phone number. He gave me his number and I contacted him, and he just never contacted me. So I contacted my guy again the next day and I said, hey, your friend never got back with me. And he was like, wow, really? And he got back to him and he said, what's up? You never contacted my guy. And he says, well, I'm talking to this girl right now that lives here, and da-da-da-da-da. So it just never materialized.
That would have been an amazing opportunity.
Yeah. But then I saw the weather, you know, where I was swiping through the thing. It was like 5 degrees or something. And I was like, oh, I don't know about that part. I don't like cold. You know,
you like cold?
No, I don't like cold.
Okay.
Yeah. So
well, I mean, I would say, but at least you get altitude. You get fresh, clean air.
Yeah, you get that, and you get all the activities, and I'm sure there's a lot of warm places to go. I'm sure everybody's got the heat kicking like fucking fried chicken.
I mean, you'd be closer to LA than you are now.
Oh, I know. You know, it was not meant to be, because I didn't even get a call from the guy. I didn't get to talk to him. I would have loved to have had a conversation with him, because I was really ready to put some skin in the game. Like I would come out there and check things out on my dime and see what's going on, and, you know, see if we even connect as people. But it never materialized. So here we are in Atlanta, Georgia. If they would legalize marijuana here, my life would be complete. I would be like, all right, I don't have to leave. I don't have to sell my house. You know,
you know what?
Kisa and Johnny
is over there, and I mean, you just even in your county, or I don't know what you call counties out there, like your province or something.
No, it's a county. It's a county.
Marijuana support is obviously like the majority province.
Over here. Okay, in my county, what the majority? What race?
Or no, just support for cannabis legalization.
Oh, I would have no idea. I don't believe in politics. I think it's all rigged.
Okay.
But that's my opinion. That's just stupid old me. In Florida, actually, the popular vote was like 57 or 58%. It was actually in favor. And they were just like, fuck no, we're not doing that. So like that, I don't really have any faith in that. So it'd be nice if it happened here. But, you know, who knows? So that's why I'm kind of looking at other opportunities, maybe. Kisa and Johnny are moving to Hawaii. How fucking cool is that?
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and they're gonna like fucking film their whole move, reality porn style, and yeah, pretty nice.
Yeah.
So they're taking it to the next level.
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, why not? I mean, still living your life, having a great time doing so, and actually making a living.
Yeah,
that's the dream.
Have you checked out their look trailer?
I have not.
It's pretty hot.
I'm pretty sure it is. They're pretty hot people.
Have you ever worked with him?
No, never. No, but I saw her. Yeah, Kissa. I saw her online on Twitter, and yeah, fucking gorgeous.
So anything else you want to share?
Lana Violet, and Instagram, same thing, Lana Violet. Just customs for you if anybody wants anything personally made.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And definitely hit us up if something new and cool is happening with you. We'll put it up and we'll do a little thing.
Yeah, please do. I'll let you know when anything comes up.
Peace.
Bye.
How do you feel? Are you the good when I tell you from the ghetto? From the ghetto. From the ghetto.
Thanks for tuning in to Radio After Dark. Check us out at JackieTees.com for irreverent t-shirts. Follow us on Twitter, _Radio After Dark, and on Instagram, Jackie Tees for the normal shit. We'll see you next time.
World's best t-shirt design.
That's not what the instructions said, Lana. My instructions said something totally different.
Yeah. Which one did you get?
I got the one for the doofus. I'm the doofus.
You're not the doofus. Maybe
they had one under the table that they sell to the stupidest looking person of the day, and I was given it. I actually bought it in Vegas, right there across from the Hard Rock Cafe.
Maybe it was just like a toy. It wasn't even an actual thing.
Yeah, it might have been like the demo.
You can say anything your heart's dreaming of. But don't call it love. Call it a longing. Call it a yearning. Don't call it love.
Fun life.
Lana Violet is here.
Well, I was working at an amusement park back in the day when I was 19. But see, for me, I've always been fascinated by strippers. Like, I loved strippers. I can't remember.
Yeah, I saw your pictures on Instagram from Vegas.
When I was younger, I used to stay up late, and I would just see like the Girls Gone Wild, like commercials and stuff. And
Yeah.
I just wanted that kind of girl, you know. And then I was just fascinated by strippers and how they danced and worked the pole, and that's always what I've been like attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, applied on sexy jobs to be a dancer. I got a lot of calls for like adult model, nude model. But at the time I was working at that amusement park and I was going to school. So I was pretty busy and I never really got back to anybody. I ended up meeting my first agent and I told her I wanted to be a stripper. And then she told me about videos, everything about the adult business, how there's talent tests for it. Like for me, I said I was going to do everything. I put down anal, but my agent actually told me, she's like, no, you're going to wait for that. So yeah.
How was the segue from the personal life?
But like I feel it's all individual situations. Like for me, I did grow up in a Filipino Catholic household,
Right.
but my life experiences have been very rocky. I was young, wild, naive, crazy, and just all over the place. So I was very horny when I was younger, but for me personally, I guess I was never really detested by the dick. I was afraid of getting pregnant. That was my biggest fear. They never taught anything about STDs in Catholic schools. I didn't even know anything about STDs.
Really?
I knew nothing about STDs.
Catholic schools are not giving information. That's weird. Come on, this is like, come on.
I remember being 18 and learning about chlamydia and gonorrhea when I got my first job. They were telling me about it because I was telling my sexual, adventures, and they were telling me, "Aren't you afraid about getting an STD, this and that?" And I maybe heard AIDS here and there from like an after-school like special, but whatever. I didn't learn about abortion until freshman year of high school. So anyway, I was more afraid about being pregnant. So I actually I took it up the ass before I put in my pussy.
Really?
And before that,
I definitely won't get pregnant.
I love to give hand jobs. I love to get fingered, but I never really did more than that. I would give a guy a blowjob if I really, really liked him. Like if I saw myself
if you personally thought he was a nice person. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. All I can say to the Filipino credit is that
there's certain, because for me at the time when I just got out of high school, it was Jenna Jameson. She came out with her book. That's what I knew, like blonde, big tits. That's
right.
What it was. And obviously that's not what I am. So she was telling about like Asian niches, young girl, that type of stuff. And I was just kind of fascinated by it. And she's also said that
did she make it sound alluring or just exciting or just all of that?
All of the above. Alluring, exciting. She was telling me if I did want to be a stripper, to put up my name as a porn star, an adult entertainer, and that way I can do features. So it'll be a bigger gig, a bigger opportunity.
Do you think that what she portrayed it matched up in your eyes? Pretty much? Absolutely,
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, for me, I would say my experience getting to business has been pretty fortunate. I've heard horror stories before.
Right. So there's like documentaries about the girl that felt like she was like gonna die or something. But for everybody there's like 100 people that are like, I didn't have that experience.
I wouldn't say like 1 to 100, maybe like 1 to 25.
I'm grabbing numbers outside. There's no statistical analysis.
Or actually, no. Well, because there's like horrific stories and there's like bad stories. There's not so good stories.
Not true. Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. Just no one in this car, but a lot of people. That's their good times, noodle salad. What makes it so hard is not that you had it bad, but that you're that pissed that so many others had it good.
No, not it at all, really.
But I was approached about it by a magazine who's offering all this. It's awesome. So I said, yeah.
Is it chaperoned or is it just you meet at a local place or?
It is chaperoned. Meet in a public place.
How big is the dude?
I want that to be very clear. Just because we're going on a date and just because I do porn, just does not mean.
Just because I'm dressed this way does not make me a whore.
And we're just gonna fuck, We're gonna go have a good time, eat some great food, enjoy LA. Yeah.
And the chaperone. Do you want to describe the chaperone? Do you know the chaperone?
Yes, I know the chaperone. Those are details that I can't really discuss, but
those are secret details of the contest. I like it. Don't.
And it's not rigged. I know a lot of people have asked, like more than one. Trust me, have asked me like, "Oh, are you gonna rig it? Is it rigged?" No, like I really want to leave it up to luck, up to fate. Like if it works out I want to really meet a true fan. So. Hopefully, I get somebody who really truly supports the Lana lifestyle.
I hope it's like a Ryan Gosling or whatever the hell your thing is, and you're just like, wow, run off and make a reality porn website. That would be cool.
I'm honestly not really expecting that, but I will say that I have some really hot followers on Instagram and Twitter. They're pretty sexy. Like, hello, like,
sexy mother.
I do date.
All the Filipino girls that I've had sex with have all been like amazing. Like it's been like
That's a great stereotype.
well,
to have.
no, I just want to say, like, you know, the people do say, like, oh, you know, all pussy's the same, is not the same. And there are some that are just way better than others. So, tell me about the contest thing, because that was something Leslie had sent to me, and I was like, oh, what the hell is this thing?
I met the owners or the creators of Amp Asia magazine at Asia Monopalooza. It's through their magazine, Amp Asia, and you can go on their site, ampasia.com, AMP.
What are they about?
Just the Asian lifestyle. Amp Asia. It's through Amp Asia. It's AMPEDASIA.com.
Okay.
And pretty much, so you go on the site, you enter your email. That's how you enter the contest. You answer questions, and you will be sent an email saying you won, blah, 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 and you get an all expenses paid trip to come out to LA, and we go out on a date. Go out to dinner.
A 4-hour engagement. Up to
4
4
hours. The minimum, yes. And you have to qualify, you have to be within the United States, 21 and over.
21 and over. Okay. You can share to get more entries. There's different ways to share through Twitter.
You send the link, email the link to friends. You get an additional entry with every time you send one.
Whose idea was this to come up with Lana Violet as the one to do this?
Well, they approached me about it because I did the feature for their porn and sex issue that came out in January, and they asked me, we would like to do win a date contest with you, and if you'd be interested. And I said, yeah, that's actually pretty fun. I've seen other girls do it, and I always thought that was a fun idea to do. And